What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Jadra on the score. And we're going back to a show that I'm very excited to talk about because I'm going to start a watch along for it on my Patreon. A while back, I did the first episode of a different J-drama, and it's an amazing show. It's brilliant, but it's sort of dark and it's violent, it's very heavy. And I realized one of my favorite shows that is indicative of a lot of J-drama in that it combines multiple different genres and show types, namely comedy, romance, a bit of sci-fi, and it's fundamentally a detective show. And we're talking Okitegami Kyoko's Memorandum, starring Aragaki Yui, as well as, what's his name? Masaki Okada. Anyway, it's an amazing show, one of my all-time favorites. I've reacted to, I think, is it 4 pieces of score and 2 of the, songs from the soundtrack? I think that's right. But these are, a year ago, so I probably would hate all the reactions. But I have reacted to some of the score already. Ultimately, it's an interesting score in that, as you will see in the soundtrack here, it's done by 2 different people, and for the most part, it seems to be one or the other. They didn't seem to collaborate on the tunes. It was that, essentially half the score is done by one, half the score is done by the other. Given that I remember, I think almost all the tunes I've reacted to so far are ones that are composed by Megumi Sasano, or if you were in Japan, Sasano Megumi-san. But yeah, we're going to listen to another tune by her. It's a tune called Beyond Oblivion, with a few of the emotional tracks in this score. It's used in some different ways in some different scenes. It also bears motifs and themes that you hear in a number of other tracks in the score. And yeah, it speaks to the emotion between the main 2 characters, but that's a complicated thing, as anyone who joins the watch along will find out. I'm actually going to do a teaser reaction to one scene in one episode as a way to maybe drum up some interest, and I'm going to put it on Patreon, and I'm going to make it public, and then the watch along itself I'll make at first each of the episodes for paid members, and then maybe after a week or something I'll make them public. But it's a show I really want to talk about. I'm willing to put Mozu on indefinite hold. Now at the same time, I am going to keep doing the watch alongs I planned, which is to say some videos that Han Solo sent me. I'm going to start going through Blackadder. Eventually I'm going to do TJ Hooker. I'm going to keep going at the riffs. So all good things and all in good time. But this is something I felt very strongly about. And a couple people, Kim in particular, was saying, whatever you do in the coming year, don't forget to, react to stuff that you want to do, and don't, let that slide off because you're always trying to keep up with other deep dives. So this is something I very much want to do. One of the ways, even before I do that one scene teaser, that I want to get back into that is to listen to another piece from the score. So as I said, we're going to listen to a piece by Sasano Megumi-san, which essentially translates to Beyond Oblivion. It's an emotional piece, and it speaks to the atmosphere of the show, especially as it goes along. There's so much comedy throughout the show, but as it goes along, it gets a little more serious, a little more heavy in the, emotional, romance. Yeah, it just keeps advancing and gets a little bit more serious. So by the end of the show, a piece like this, it's a bit heavier than it might be at the beginning of the show. Again, when I do these reactions to the J-dramas, and especially those that, you know, I feel very strongly about and have very emotional scenes, it's hard to separate them. And yet, as a great friend of the channel, Michaela, said, in relation to a different J-drama soundtrack that I recently reacted to, good music and music that's written, you know, with attention to the scene that's being written for, or the score that the show that the score is written for, it can transcend language, and you know, the feeling and meaning of the tune can become apparent even to someone who's never seen the show or heard it in that capacity. So I absolutely agree with that. But yeah, it's a short but very sweet tune. There's that that tonal shift, which made me like very emotional in the moment, that in some other tracks in this score is actually heard multiple times and in some different idioms. As I said, the themes and motifs of this soundtrack, they're spread throughout the entire score. In any case, a really cool tune. Looking forward to doing the scene preview, hoping to drum up a little bit of interest. And as I said, I'll start posting the episodes in conjunction with, again, Blackadder and like a million other things that I'm looking forward to doing in 2024. So, yeah, shout out to all the folks who follow the different things. Anyone who's watched this far, I should mention the Gemini Man riffs are going to be coming back. I had to put them on pause when I did that holiday, like Christmas Carol riff, because, you know, it was like an hour and 45 minutes. So it was like riffing like 2 1/4 Gemini Man episodes, so it just took a lot of time. But yeah, among the many other things I look forward to getting back to will be the Gemini Man riff. So again, shout out to all the folks here for everything. I feel like I mentioned at least a few of you. Again, Kim, Michaela, Han Solo, you people show up in almost everything on my channel. It means a lot, so shout out to all of you. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.